Absolutely. God bless you. We love you. I love you dearly. But she has been as Christian as she has been, that she is right now, when she's worn whatever God is what she wanted to wear.
Harrison, only faithful is their options.
The description.
People are only faithful as their options.
Oh, we ain't doing that. No, I love you. Shoot, y'all about to see a whole nother Davon. Y'all ain't seen. Remember, I am from Oakland
now. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, today on Radio 2 TV, we're going to talk a little bit about DeVon Franklin and Meagan Good. And I've taken a little bit of a moment to talk about this because I wanted to get all the details and information before I just put a video out. Not saying everybody else didn't get theirs, but other people do have a 95 still. You know, I'm not a full-time YouTuber. So DeVon Franklin and Meagan Good, marriage is over. And this is the gospel truth about their marriage. This is my truth about their marriage. A preacher, man of God, who's a devout Christian. He's a Seventh-day Adventist. He's been married to Meagan Good for 9 years. He's filed for divorce, and people are talking and saying that they may have been unequally yoked from the start. And Twitter post about their amicable separation was posted days ago, and now people are ripping her apart, and that's Meagan Good, saying she was not the right one for DeVon because she likes to drink and smoke and live the way she wanted before she met him. You know, he's a preacher, so she was looking for someone to heal her. And, you know, from my understanding, she said God showed her that's her husband. And she was right. He was her husband for 9 years. Now, Halloween, she was in a provocative outfit. This was 2 months ago. I heard they were divorced, but we do have a BET interview where DeVon said Meagan was withholding from him versus, you know, trying to be the, you know, submissive wife, in other words. And he said one thing on one show, and then, as we have learned, he really didn't feel that way. I think he does. A lot of people say things and do things to appease who they're, you know, who's their audience at that point. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that on a marketing standpoint, because this is where he makes his money. I mean, he's been a director, author, you know, they wrote a book, The Wait, together. And the scene that you saw at the start of this video was him defending Meagan. And I just think it was just too much for him to bear. Like, you know, she continues to wear these provocative clothings. You know, she's been linked to 50 Cent. And this is interesting because in this particular clip that I have coming up next, she did talk about how she wanted the relationship to be kept under wraps because of her image, and she was trying to do things with her career that she just couldn't do with you know, that image on her. And I feel that she's strayed away a little bit because as a married woman, you can't continue to do these type of movies. So at this point, you know, months later, divorced, after we hear, you know, of this new show called Harlem, which I'll talk about in a moment. But, you know, the church, as DeVon is a representative of, would either be a preacher that's, you know, doing it every once in a while. DeVon was on the show Potter's House. He was called out for allowing his first lady to be a harlot before the eyes of men and women and children and whoever else is watching it. And the woman got up there and said it, and then kind of told her that, you know, what we ain't gonna do. This, you know, this Oakland gonna come out and all this other stuff. But a lot of people just wonder, how would DeVon be married to a woman who is on a show called Harlem, who portrays a woman who is loose with her body and is not of the path he wished to tread upon? And he defended her for clothing. This is why the relationship did not last, in my opinion. I think that it was too much to bear for him financially, you know, and also as a person. You know, he's a Seventh-day Adventist. I did hear of that on another channel. He's a Seventh-day Adventist. He comes from a good family, respectable family, and, you know, to have Meagan Good thrown up in there, not to say he couldn't have helped her. He did save her, you know, from the situations that she was in, but at this point they're moving forward. And, you know, a lot of other prominent YouTubers like Tasha K believe that he's doing this to get money from the church, and I 100% agree. You know, TD Jakes actually just bought his daughter Sarah a house, a $4 million house with church money. And not to say Devon's doing that, but they believe that this is, you know, definitely him trying to distance himself from her as she tried to distance herself from 50 Cent back in the day because of the image that she's portraying. And, you know, at this point, you know, this story was released months ago, but people kind of ignored it. So did I. Mainly, I thought it was a malicious rumor. The issue is that, you know, for the church sake, she's married and she's eating, you know, sleeping around on the show for Marlon and you know, promoting lesbianism. Her name is Camille Parks. She's using a name that's actually my real name in the wrong way, and I don't agree with that. She needs to stop using that name for sure, but I'm glad it's a fictional character at this point because I would never do those things, right? Well, I would be married to a preacher doing them. So in this case, you know, people don't like the fact that he's promoting, you know, this so-called Better Than Sex in the City show. And, you know, Harlem's a new show on Amazon Prime. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. I watched it. I didn't really like it. It, to me, seemed like satire of Black women, which I don't think real women talk like that, but it just seems scripted and it's not very good. I think he's just trying to support her and make himself look positive in a negative situation. I think it was wrong for them to parade the relationship as a good fortune in that way because it really wasn't like that. He was married to someone that a lot of the church women would say she's a witch, who lets anyone and everyone hump her as she's married to a preacher, a representative of God, not God, but a representative of what, you know, the body of Christ should be as far as marriage and the way a man should act. But we don't know DeVon or Meagan outside of that. I think that she's very talented. I think that she has some work to do in the area of understanding her power. I think, you know, she doesn't have to take her clothes off. I think Ben thought she was just as good looking without doing that. But if that's what pays her bills, I'm not the one to judge. I'm sure she's likely a good person. I don't have anything bad to say about her ultimately. But the issue is at hand. The gospel truth is the issue is a man of God should not promote Harlem, and it's available, you know, for everybody to see in the world, you know, at this point, free and here through Amazon Prime. Davon said it's better than Sex in the City, and many do not know why. They're very shocked and appalled by his behavior. And I'm just reporting the news. Now, if we want to look back at the Oprah interview, they did not have any relations before marriage and led a relationship unlike what we see today. Many run to the aisle and do not know their partner beyond their sexual connection. So, you know, they talked about that, and that's what their book's about, called The Wait. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, I hope that he finds someone that's good for him and you know, someone that's on his walk with God. And I also hope that for Meagan. Ultimately, I have nothing bad to say about these two. They're very good looking people. I just think they have different morals and standards, and it was too much to bear for him as a man at the end. And, you know, there's been some rumors that, you know, it was her cheating, him cheating. We'll get to the bottom of that. I'm sure that will come out as we get more information on the divorce, but they made their post and they're, you know, calling it quits and they're okay with it. So should we. So that's my little 2 cents for what's going on with Davon and Meagan Good. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget to turn into a savage in the comments. Make sure you speak your mind on this, especially the Christian community. Love to hear from you.